Good afternoon. I've not even said hello to Dan yet.
Oh, are we live straight away, are we?
We're already live, mate. Yeah, I've done it.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Unbelievable timing. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the watch along. Well, I think we're gonna swell in numbers a little bit later as well. I think we've got a few others coming along to join us, but you logged into the back end literally as I'd decided I would get live and have a chat with everyone, and then I thought, should I have a chat and then bring you in? But I thought, no, I'll just throw you straight in. Good evening, everyone. In the evening, I think we still go afternoon at 6:10.
We're moving into the evening slowly, I think, by this time.
Yeah, we're gonna now. And again, it's another one where we're not on for a late finish either, are we? Like the Premier League, we did a watch along of the Premier League quite recently, and that was it was a nice early finish compared to a Fallout bar, but we didn't get going this early, did we? Didn't get going. Our kids are still playing in the garden. It's still nice and sunny and bright, and all is quite well with the world.
We might even finish before it gets dark. We have blue sky, mate. A little bit of cloud in Manchester at the moment. Yes, very nice.
That is, I mean, a very unusual feature for it to be not raining in Manchester. So, quick welcome along to everybody in the chat room. Please do feel all night. We're going to be here for semi-finals and the final of the 2026 World Cup. Couple of house rules which we will be reminding everybody of through the course of the evening. But if you are watching along in the chat room, the main house rule is everybody is watching in a different. I think last time we did a watch along, we had like 4 at least continents in, and I think we ticked off about 30 odd countries. Like some people are bouncing it around 10 satellites and a VPN, others are in the venue, right? So be on the screen, on the big screen here in the middle of this, we're going to use the PDC's live score updates. That is the point at which we are willing to call what's happening. So there may be some things on your screen that are ahead of everybody else, but let's not spoil the fun. Let's all enjoy it together. So we are, if you're watching the Sky Sports coverage, I think we've got, I can't put any sound on because
no, same.
We will get into big trouble from the PDC if the sound comes down this stream. So I can see Team England being interviewed presently. We're getting the Lukes interviewed, and I suppose our first do a big shout out to everybody in the chat room. Like, please make sure you get involved through the course of the evening. We'll do a load of predictions as always. We'll talk about what's going on and what's happening. We will make sure to keep on top, or I'll do my very best to keep on top of everybody's comments in there. Let's have a little reminder of what happened this afternoon. So we had 4. We'll talk through the game. I'll do the scores really quickly, and then we could get into them a little bit more. So Scotland 8-5 victory over Ireland. England 8-7 over Wales. Northern Ireland, my screen's just gone black. I tell you, I am having technological nightmare today. Like my screen just keeps going black inexplicably. Northern Ireland 8-7 decided length victory over Latvia, and the Netherlands 8-4 victory over Germany. So Dan, we've been at this for 4 days. We've had an awful lot of matches, and we've ended up with the 4 seeds. Are you surprised at all?
No, I do think the doubles format, like I remember the World Cup when it used to be like they'd have singles and doubles. I do think this kind of one-off, one game does lend its hand to an upset, but I mean, we could have had Germany in there. There are some decent countries who.
Oh, this is even better. I've now my monitor went off, my screen went black. These internets froze. This is not a good start, but things are getting better, folks. We might be overcoming some technological hurdles. We might be overcoming lots of other stuff. But I can do this. I know, I can do this for now, actually. And then this. And from across the pond, Dave Connolly comes in for the World Cup semi-finals and final. Dave, how are you, mate?
Good. I think I timed that well with Dan dropping there, so I didn't leave you. Oh, he's back now. All right, good.
Apologies, gents.
He's back. No, still beautiful timing all the same. I wasn't sure that we'd get you in before the first game got underway. I know you've been busy over there. You, of course, with like dealing with, I suppose, probably an even more challenging time difference today, because often, even I was saying, even with the Premier League, we got going at sort of 7:30ish when we got off, but being over in Europe, that puts you even earlier in the day. It's pretty much lunchtime over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1:00. The sun is shining. I'm still recovering from the U.S.'s thrashing of Paraguay on Friday night. But yeah, we got the World Cup. We have both World Cups on today. The Knicks won the NBA Finals for anyone who's a basketball fan. So like things are flowing over here. It's been great. Yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I'm excited to watch these arrows. I think it's going to be a really fun semifinal and final.
We're very close as well to getting underway. Go on, Dan.
Just a question for you, lads. If Gary Anderson and Cameron Mendes lift the trophy tonight, is it the greatest 24 hours in Scottish sport ever?
I think it might be.
I tell you what.
Win last night. Haiti was good. I thought they were better. I'm probably going to get yelled at, but I don't know. But 3 points is 3 points.
I couldn't decide. I ended up watching. So like it was the game kicked off 2 a.m. here. So I ended up watching extended highlights. And it's difficult to get a real understanding, like a real understanding if you haven't watched the 90. I thought Australia looked superb. If anybody watched
I did not see that one coming, man.
They were the better team.
A bit of a shock.
They scored, and I watched the whole game. I mean, I was up till like 2 a.m., but I watched the whole game, and they, for the first 30 minutes, looked so much better. They scored that goal, and they were still like 3-2 to win. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that. I'm winning. Like, we're up 1-0. Turkey was very pragmatic. Like, they were just probing way too much. They were not very direct. They're a mess.
So we've got Team England now on the way out. So pretty much very soon, folks, you will start to see, like I said, we're going to have the live scores in front of us here on the stream. Have we got some? So we're going to have to do predictions quick for this game, I suppose. Do either of you think that Scotland can throw the favourites out here? They've not played well, have they? Like, let's be honest. Team England have not played well again at the World Cup at all.
No, I mean, if you study the form guide, you could argue the Scots are the favourite. If you forget everything you knew about Luke and Luke before this tournament and you're a first-time fan of watching darts, you probably fancy Scotland for this. But there's just a little part of me that's like, they've got to click. They are too good, surely, to not do it at some point.
I can't think of a permutation of outcomes between the two semis and the final that would like blow my mind. Like, that's how close this all feels. I don't think the Lukes, like Dan is saying, with based on how they've looked last year, they haven't like been off to the races this year either. I think they've gotten a little lucky in some circumstances. I think if Christo had a better partner, no offense to Jose, but if he had a better partner, he might have, they might have been in a little bit more trouble. You could say the same for Johnny with Nick Kenny, who was clutch towards the end, but, struggled throughout the match, was clearly the fourth best. Like, I don't think there's an outcome that would surprise me among these three matches.
No, and I think that is, like I say, it's one of them things, isn't it? I've said to Dan, we've had 4 days, we've had loads of matches, and we end up with the 4 seeds. But again, there's a reason why they're the 4 seeds, because they're the 4 teams most likely to come to be in the last 4, aren't they? Like, that is why they are the 4, why they are the seeds. But we're off to an absolutely tremendous, tremendous start as Team England open with a 180. Team England on throw. They've won the bull. I want to see if I can just arrange this middle screen ever so slightly nicer. I'm not sure if I can. Has that made any difference? There's been a bit of difference.
Looks a little bit better. We got the names at the top.
Yeah. I did manage to get in slightly early this week, and albeit I was eating my tea while I did it, I think I did manage to get it set up a little bit neater than last time. It was a bit frustrating last time, but it's a bit better today.
I mean, this is what you want if you're Team England, just a regulation holder through. I mean, I think both games they've been behind in so far and they've had to chase. Just to get out the blocks early with a solid hold, that's surely got to feel good.
Yeah, I think Littler coming in first with that big 180, like, the first visit of the match is a 180. You would hope that would establish a bit of a sort of even just a mindset between the two Lukes that, we're not going to race behind in this one. Like, we're going to try and get off to a solid start. And there's an opportunity here in this second leg. If they find a decent visit here, there's a treble 20, which is really helpful. That ton's not bad. So they're just edging ahead here. And if they take an early break, we're still playing first to 8. And I do think if you get, well, in fairness to Scotland, all 4 of these players, if they start to play well, this game could be done in next to no time because they've all got.
Be blinking, you miss
They've all got big scores and a good pace in them, haven't they?
But it looks like Scotland. I mean, Gary and Menzies are both struggling to get going. Looking at a 56.8 average. I know only a leg and a half in, and it might seem a little dramatic, but it's not. That needs to change very soon. Otherwise, is it 7 legs for the break? I think they've been clean.
Yes. Yeah, we're still best of 15, yeah. Curacao have scored on Germany.
No.
I have 3 monitors up, and I have that on the right, this on the left, you guys in the middle. Like, this is.
I'll tell you what. There's one scenario in which I won't be heartbroken if Team England go out to Scotland here, and it's if Curacao dick Germany in the world. That's the only. Every now and again, life is a balance, isn't it? And it's the only thing that could probably offset me.
I mean, it is completely against the run of play for the first 20 minutes, but that's pretty fun.
Amazing. Right, you two can talk amongst yourself for a minute or two. I'm just going to stick some posts on the socials so that people can telling people to come along and join us for a bit of a watch along. 1-1 is the score.
Seems like Team England's slowed down a little bit here, Dave. That early 180 and comfortable hold they've regressed down to 188.5, and Scotland's on the way up.
Yeah, there's been I feel like in their first 2 games, and you're even seeing here, like they have the flashes where they obviously show how good they are, but it's just not. It's like hard work. It's not consistent. It's not. They can't string it together for more than like a visit or 2.
Do you think it's just because they're both such rhythm players and they're effectively spending triple of the time away from the board on average that they usually would? They're just struggling to find it. Do you think it's playing together? Why do you think they seem to struggle to play together?
It's hard because like when you've heard them in interviews in the 12 months since last year, it's almost like they don't even know. Like they seem as befuddled as we do about what the disconnect is. It seems like they get along. It's not like they don't like each other, at least from what we have seen. I don't know. It probably is a rhythm thing. I think you've got it. That's the best answer I can come up with. I'm sure when you're playing for yourself, you're wearing your own shirt, you're playing for your own pride. Like the external pressure of playing for a country it's real. Like you're representing a country when you pull that shirt on. And I just think that maybe that's a lot for them or a lot for Littler. And like, I know they're both, big into football. It's a World Cup year as well. Like there's a lot of nationalism going around and people are fired up, and that might play a part. That
nationalism, it's funny because I think if you look at some of the countries you maybe wouldn't expect to do as well, it almost levels up some of their individuals.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Whereas for some reason with England, we're not seeing the Lukes play like the Lukes usually play. It's almost like it's a hindrance on them.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
However, they can probably still win this tournament playing their C+ game.
I mean, when was the last time?
I was just going to jump in. Sorry, that just with the question is that like a frustration you think to everybody else? It's one of the ball aches of the current situation that like they haven't played well. Like individually, neither of them have played well. They're a mile away from what we expect from both of them, and they're in the semi-finals. And if they played exactly the same as if they just sort of coasted through like this, you'd probably go, yeah, they'll probably get through it, and they'll breeze through to a final with quite right their C game. Even I, as a big fan of both players and as an England fan, like you want a bit more jeopardy, don't you? You want them to be really pushed and challenged.
It's a shame Gezi didn't go on it. That could have been interesting. Gezi and Clayton, because they seem to play really well together, going up against the Lukes. But as a fan of darts, you almost think these two have infinite potential, and you just want to see 9 darter, 10 darter, 11 darter, and it threatened a little bit in that Wales game. I think they went 11, 12, 13 at one point when they were a little bit behind, but it does just feel like we haven't quite seen it all fall into place just yet.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I would be disappointed if we saw, like, don't get me wrong, right? I think after last year, like, I'll take what I can get. So me saying them, like, I'd be disappointed if they won, but like, take that completely with a pinch of salt. But I think it will be disappointing if we saw them win, but didn't really see any of that magic. It would be underwhelming. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to win a World Cup, but what you actually want, I think what most darts players want, and what a lot of fans want, is they want to see big performances. They want to see these are the two, arguably the most exciting players in the world. They are the two best players in the world. Everybody wants to see them play like that together as doubles, because on paper, these two could break every record. They could. These two on paper are the. If you said go and design a team that could break every World Cup record for, number of wins, for the way that they win, for the performance, for the averages, to wins to nil, to checkouts, like ton plus checkouts in a tournament, they could destroy every record. But they haven't shown form close to that yet, have they?
No, and I think that the World Cup, it gets a lot of critics, and it's a tournament that sparks debate and conversation, should we say, around the validity of how big the tournament is and the quality of it. And if these two win playing below par, I don't think it helps the tournament at all. I think it only makes the reputation look a little bit worse, personally, if I'm honest.
Well, at the minute, we're seeing for the first time this tour. Well, I suppose. Well, it depends. You can go intermittently in some of the other games, but this is pretty dominant at the minute. The difference in averages. 93.5 plays 81. Now, I don't think Team England are doing anything different to what we've seen, but this is a real drop from what we've seen so far from Team Scotland. Team Scotland have been almost immaculate so far. And this is a real drop off, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact we're in the sixth leg, they've had 1 dart at a double.
This is a stinker.
It's not good. And again, frustrating, because this could have been absolute fireworks. This could have been a monster of a match, and we just suppose. Even as someone that wants England to win, I want a bit of a fire lit in Scotland, hopefully, and not quite literally. I know the celebrations are still ongoing after yesterday's match.
This is a huge leg heading the break here, isn't it? 5-2 or 4-3s. Huge swing just before they take a little walk off the stage.
Yeah, and again, I think we talked about this a lot during the Premier League watch along, players going in behind, but having but knowing what the trajectory of the game is, knowing what the momentum is. And I think if Scotland can pick up, but again, look at the scores. Like picking up a break here is going to be an absolute, a big uphill battle from this point. 5-2 on a first to 8 feels very far away, doesn't it?
When you're averaging 12 below your opponent, it certainly does, yeah. It's an uphill stride. But the one thing that I think it has let the England team down so far, not so much this game, but they haven't been very good at the end of legs so far this time.
Well, there you go.
You couldn't write it, could you?
That was pretty neat and tidy, I think. But again, to be honest, and this is where I'm going to have to point the finger at Scotland a little bit here. They haven't been very good at the end of legs, and there's been pressure on them. Spain put pressure on them, so that when they weren't very good at the end of legs, they lost it. They went through that today. Like, by God, every time when they started to fart around, and when they were just getting out finished in spells of the game by Wales, who weren't allowing them to mess around. They've got 3 darts at tops there with Scotland back on 149. Right, there just isn't the pressure there, is there? And these two are good under pressure at the best of times. So you've got to create your opportunities, because they've given a lot of opportunities out already so far in the last couple of days, and they'll only give so many. These two, they will stop giving them out at some point.
I mean, these two can't play together, and not. I know we're seeing they haven't yet, but surely it is a matter of time before this clicks. Whether it has to be a first World Cup that they win together, but they're too good for this not to work.
Menzies is averaging 77.
That, I'm afraid...
Is that good? Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, that is where things are going wrong now. And again, I know that there's some other things that have to maybe factor in. They've had a long day. Playing over multi sessions. Again, different players, it affects them differently. There are some players that are incredibly good at managing their day and themselves, and when they're playing multiple sessions, playing in the afternoon, filling the time, coming back again in the evening, they manage it very well. Other players, not so much. And, there are a number of players that you do see that, when you see a really good opening performance in the afternoon, see them play really well, and they just struggle to manage everything in order to come and replicate that later in the evening. And on and off the practice board and whatever they do to fill the time in the middle, if you don't get it right, it's really difficult. And I don't know whether... I didn't expect it as much, I think, because you've got a very clear team leader, I think, in Team Scotland. You've got that it seems harsh saying grandfather. The elder statesman in Gary Anderson to coordinate. But no, Cam Menzies is going to have to really book his ideas up, but he's going to run out of time, I think. 5-2 is fast.
I would love to be a fly on the wall and see what Gary's saying to Menzies right now.
Yeah, and compared to his standard, like Gary was not. I mean, he averaged 89, better than a 77, but that's definitely not what we'd expect from Gary.
I mean, is it let's hold throw? If we can steal one break back, it's 5-4. Let's game back on. Like,
if you come out and if you get broken right out of the gate here, it's over. Match is over.
Yeah,
if Cam Menzies was matching Gary's level, they'd probably have held their throws. They'd be one down.
4-3. Yeah.
But it's just that little drop, and say Team England for the first time this tournament are just doing a good job, a solid job of keeping it together and getting rid of the finishers and racing towards the finish line, which we haven't seen. We've seen them faff around far too much, certainly this afternoon. Do you feel a bit for Wales going to that deciding leg and being so far ahead?
I mean, it's.
I feel worse for. I feel worse for Latvia if we're gonna say who we feel bad for. But yeah, no, I do.
We'll come on to them.
Oh my. Oh. No, you're 100%. I feel worse for. I mean, it's tough, but I do feel bad for Johnny. Like Johnny's the one because he's in the back of his mind and everyone's mind. He's like, man, if my buddy shows up, if Price made it to Germany for this, then we'd be in the semifinal. We'd be here, and you know the Giants would be out, and they'd be who's to say they'd probably be the favorite.
Them or the Dutch.
Yeah,
in such a short format, but you wouldn't bet against them, would you?
I mean that'll keep me up at night, and I wonder if Gezzy's thinking that. I'm sure he's at least keeping up. I don't know if he's watching, but
I doubt it.
Probably not. But the way it all went out, like it's so easy for him to just be like, man, if I was there.
Well, that was a bit of a prediction that I had a few weeks ago. In that I feared that. I think there were a number of people a bit like frustrated with Gezzy, you know, that he hadn't prioritised this event and that he wasn't going and represent his country. And I think people were quite frustrated by that. And then I think if you got a game like that, you know, where you know the world number 60 alongside Johnny Clayton has pushed England all the way to a deciding leg, I think it's fairly easy to point the finger at Gezzy and say, well, if you'd have been there, you'd have won that. We'd have won that game. We'd have been in the final, and you have, you know, it looks. I still don't think it's a good look, and I think it might be getting worse, like as the tournament goes on for Gezzy, even though he wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean that moment where the fella that replaces you can't hit the big 14 to leave ball. That's going to be the haunting moment of Welsh darts for the next year, really, isn't it?
And that is it, because you know if you can just, I think, point the finger and say, well, Gezzy would have hit that, wouldn't he? And I think 9 times out of 10, maybe 19 times out of 20, you're right.
Did Scotland just kick off with
Gary
a 7?
just throw
Sorry
a
to jump over you, Dan. I'm waiting for my screen to catch up, because is that right?
That's right. I just saw it.
The PDC upload again.
No. I think he did throw a 7.
He threw a 7.
Gary. I mean, after you do the hard work and hold your own throw, you then get a chance to put England under it, and you kick off with a 7.
And in fairness, right, I'm not. You know, I feel a bit bad after giving, you know, dishing out pelters at Cam Menzies during the break, saying he needs to keep pace with Gary Anderson. Gary comes straight back and pings it, pops a 7 in to open the leg. But yeah, you know. Team England on 28 with your opponents back on 200. Like, to say that this is comfortable is...
Double 7 can get a little bit funny, though, if you start messing about, coming inside. 140.
Yeah, do you know what? Hang on. And I tell you what, do you know what? There's some real pressure there as well. Like, you can't cock this up now. Ah, well.
6-4-4. That's
yeah. Do you know... They have been far better at getting out of legs than they have been at any point in this tournament so far. I know they've only played a couple of games, but it's the best that they've ever played as a pair. You know, last year I think it was shite, but
I think it's just popped up there. I've seen on the screen, so it was just before that last leg. So. They were 42% on doubles in the match. Their tournament doubles, and they're about to qualify for the final, is 34%. I mean, talk about just coasting your way through. It's the scoring just gets them out of jail too often, really, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And they're actually... And, you know, who predicted this? They're getting better and better and better. Like, look at that 3-dart average. England has continued to increase and increase and increase all the way through this game. And this is a very good start. Like, if you are going to start heading on the right track, now is the time to do it, isn't it? Like, the semi-final, start going upwards and peak at the right time, so to speak.
A nice 12-dart breaker throw there as well, just to almost put it to bed. You do get the feeling that these two should hit a 9 together, though, don't you? Like when you think about that team, it's surely it should happen at some point.
Yeah, we could, and we might not have time now because that visit's bollocks it. But am I right in saying that we've only had one ton plus average in this World Cup so far, which was the Netherlands this afternoon? I didn't think we'd had one before the Netherlands, or did we get one?
We might have got one in the group just because it was such short format, but I could be wrong. I can look.
I'm not sure we did. In fact,
take a look.
I think that Ireland. No, that was crap. All right, yeah, Germany 101.2 opening game against the Philippines. That's the only. Yeah, there was one in the group stage. We got one this afternoon from the Netherlands.
That was when, Shindy averaged like 120. I mean, he threw like 20 darts, but that's still pretty good.
Netherlands this afternoon is the high point.
Well, that was a little bit of a walkover for the first semi-final, but I do think the second one will be a lot closer.
Yeah, wow.
Very, very comfortable. And you know, like, if I'm honest, I really didn't expect that at all.
No, me neither.
And I'm a bit disappointed. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy for England to win. I would love to see those two win the World Cup. It's a missing trophy. They are both capable of holding everything or the winning everything. At the minute, Littler is looking like he could hold everything at once. That's starting to look like something that could happen. So I very much I'm intrigued by the possibility of that. I like to see records being made, but I did think that Scotland would have made it a lot harder. I didn't think it would be as easy as that. I thought it'd be really pushed. But the performance, I don't think you can grumble too much about. That average just dropped. They sort of messed around a little bit too much towards the end, and they caught it back up. So it's not quite the highest one yet, but second or third. Let me have a look. What was the Germans? Was it 101.9? So it's the third.
Was it a 4-0 Germany Philippines? It was just a wash, wasn't it?
Gary's asking, do you think England can take the fight? I think they're heading in the right direction, Gary. I think that's the best performance we've seen from them ever as a pair that last game. And I think if they keep it up, if they keep heading in the right direction, keep winning and improving, then they'll do all right. So let's do some predictions. Can we have some in the chat room as well? Get your predictions in for semi-final number 2, which is the Netherlands against defending champions Northern Ireland. I'll come to you both first to see what you think is going to happen. I'll turn the comments on from the chat room so we can see them at the bottom of the screen. But get your comments in the chat room or your predictions anyway in the chat room. Let you know who you think is going to win.
The big question in this one for me is what Michael are we going to get? I kind of have an idea of what everyone else will do or be in the region of. I don't think he's going to be on fire. So therefore, I think Northern Ireland are going to win 8-7. I think we're going to go sudden death, a bit like they did this afternoon.
Oh, I mean, I'm all for that.
I hope so. That was a bit no drama in that, wasn't it? We need some drama.
No, I'm all for that. Again, if you're a neutral, you just want to see the best game possible, don't you? Like, you want to see entertainment. Dave, what are you thinking, man?
I am going to go Northern Ireland 8-5. That's my pick. A little out there. I'm not falling. I'm not falling for the MVG trap of him looking good. He looked great today. Jan finally looks kind of, better than the bit of dipping form he's had the last few months. But I don't know. There's I feel like I always get caught in this. I'm like, oh, he's back. Like, you look good. And then I don't know. I think that is the more fun story, especially because it's a pair that haven't won yet. But I don't know. They have Northern Ireland has some they just have some voodoo, and I just trust them.
They're two people that definitely get the best out of playing for the country for whatever reason.
They just like you said, they level up, and they get along so well, and I just think they trust each other and themselves, because there's kind of two levels to that. It's like, one, do you trust yourself in the big moment? That's already a difficult thing to do. Do you trust your partner? And I think they both genuinely trust each other when they need something, whether it's a setup shot or whatever.
It's almost like Gurney is the perfect foil for Josh Rock. Like someone who, they're not an amazing scorer, they can do a bit, but a very solid, has his bottle when it comes to the end of legs. And it's almost like that just lets Rock off the leash just to go nuts with his scoring.
Yeah, absolutely.
If the Netherlands win, and I mean win the final, I'm the boring one that thinks that the Netherlands will comfortably win their semi-final. And I'm just genuinely crossing my fingers and hopeful that I hope that we see the top four in the final. I want to see the best four players in the world, and I want to see them all play as the best four players in the world. I'm hopeful of a really, really high level final. But if the Netherlands are successful today, it's really interesting, because what we've found is certainly in this more let's call it the sort of post Phil Taylor era. What we're seeing is every time you look at records that Humphreys and Littler can break as they move up, counts everything. Michael van Gerwen is always the man. He's always the man that's in the way of those records first. But there are a couple that he actually sits behind. So in the total World Cup wins, England have 5, the Netherlands have 4. So the Netherlands sit 1 behind. So if the Netherlands win, it does tie up the overall as well in terms of the players. Individuals who've won the most, Adrian Lewis, Phil Taylor, and Raymond van Barneveld have all won 4 World Cups. Raymond van Barneveld won his first one with Korstampe. So Michael van Gerwen only 3. So that would tie in both as if Netherlands win, that would tie the Netherlands as the most amount of wins, but it would also brings Michael van Gerwen into that tie for most amount of individual wins. We're not going to see anything close, I'm afraid, at this stage to anywhere in the record-breaking averages. The top 10, believe it or not, the 10th highest average in the World Cup is 104.97. But every single one of those top 10 the highest one ever is 118 world record held by Poland. That was Krzysztof Ratajski and Krzysztof Kachuk. But they were all done in incredibly short format, mostly first to
group match.
Fours. Yeah, there's a couple in there. There's a big Nico and Simon Whitlock back in 2010 posted 108.5. But that was in a game that it was 3-1. You can do, I think, these lads can average pretty much everything to 3 over 3 or 4 legs. So we've never had a game at this stage, at this length, that gets anywhere near that. I'll tell you what, though, I'm just going to dip in the chat room because it's a real mixed bag.
I'm just going to grab a quick drink, boys. 2 secs.
Yeah, do that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. Before we do that, I need to do a bit of admin because I need to change games on here, don't I? So let's go back one. And let's see if we can get this loaded up. Oh, this is good, isn't it? Coming soon. I don't want to come soon. I want to know now, please. Here we go. Michael Van Geuwen. And we will go to the match centre. This is, I think, where we get this nice little display. And so it is. I'll put the stats on as well. And we're good to go for the next game. Let's have a quick look in the chat room, see what we've got in there for predictions. We've got a few general. So Scott's going with the Dutch. Sapaty's gone Netherlands taking it. We've got some proper specific ones. Carl's gone Netherlands take it 7-4. They will struggle to do that as it's the first to 8.
7-4. Then what?
Then what happens next? Is that then do we get a comeback at that point from Northern Ireland? Come back and win 8-7. Gary has got 8-7 to the Netherlands. Oh, he did. He backed it up. Well done. 8-4. Carl. He did realise that. Curious. Where's Daniel and Dan from? I'm in Teesside in the northeast of England. I'm sort of somewhere around. I'm in a village in the middle of nowhere, but equidistant between Hartlepool and Middlesbrough, if you know Teesside at all. Dan's from Sunderland, but is in Manchester these days. What else have we got? Snapping Bear, Netherlands 8-2 at worst. Crikey. Johnny Boo, 8-7 Northern Ireland. Speedy Moose has got Northern Ireland beating Holland. He's got a couple of late picks at the end coming in for Northern Ireland, but predominantly, I mean, rightly so, do we thinking the Netherlands are going to take it? It's hard to really see too many other outcomes here, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I just the MVG stinker. I don't know. I get nervous thinking about it because it does come at the most random time, and we've seen a lower floor from both of them recently. That is like not what we'd expect. Van Veen and Van Gerwen just have this once in a while. We'll just throw up like they just kind of everything looks off, and I know Gurney and Rock can do it as well, but I don't know. They just. I can't get over their magic. Like they just keep whenever they get to a last leg, you're just like, yeah, they have it. Like they've won 3 straight. I mean, going back to the final last year, they won both their first matches today or this year on a last leg decider.
I'll tell you what's a really strange viewpoint, and it could be really foolish, and people probably think we're a stupid view to take, but. England haven't played well at all until that last game, and that sort of didn't worry me. If anything, I thought that was quite a positive thing because a bit like we said before that game started, like we sort of know the performances in there, like we know that the talent's in there, we know that they're and you sort of play this law of averages game where they play crap for a while, you sort of think, well, it can't last, so it's due. Like there will be a big performance because they're so good that they can't be crap for long. The thing that genuinely makes me concerned a little bit for the Netherlands is that they played so well this afternoon. Like they played so well this afternoon that they're a team where I'm sort of unconvinced by their ability to maintain it and carry that on and sustain it going forward. And that's almost what. If they'd have played crap this afternoon and come through it, then I might have thought, oh, they're still due a big performance. Either of them could turn it on. Because they've done it, I sort of think, well, they're very much peak and trough, those two, at the minute. They continue to up and down. And it just saps me sort of confidence away a little bit that they'll be able to maintain it.
Yeah, this will be... I get that they should be the favorite, but there is just such a dynamic of feeling comfortable who you're playing with, and I don't think that they don't, but they've just been very volatile throughout 2026, both of them. Like you're not surprised when they do what they did last round. I mean, last round I think it was the highest best of 15 average at the World Cup ever. They played incredible, and when they're both on, they have the higher ceiling by far over Northern Ireland. Like they could smash them 8-4, but I don't know. I worry. There's some psychological stuff that goes on with this World Cup, and I don't think it's just always about who's playing better, who's better. It's these guys have been here and they've done this and they've played together, and I think they'll pull from last year a lot going into this.
Interesting. I am genuine. So here's an interesting one. Like, do you think it's funny because a lot of when we see doubles now, we're starting to play like we're talking a lot about individual performances and how one will prop the other up. And like, do we think, I know there's a talent difference, perhaps, there's certainly a world ranking difference maybe at the minute, but like, arguably, if you get Northern Ireland into the final, do you maybe fancy them more against England? Because they're playing with a bit of freedom. They are the defending champions. The pressure's on England. Like that, I don't know. I almost feel like I think England will hammer the Netherlands in the final, but might have a really tricky time against Northern Ireland. And I'm struggling to explain why. But it's just a feeling, I think.
I think the thing with England is, and this isn't a try and dismiss other nations, when I look at England's chance of winning the final, it's solely down to whatever England do. I think Van Gerwen or Van Veen and Gurney and Rock can throw their best darts, and if Littler and Humphries play their best, they win every time. The reason I think we're hesitant to see it is, it's probably so what they only played the one game together last year. They've played, is it three games in total, and four, and we haven't quite seen the best of them yet. So I don't think it matters who England play in the final. I think it's very much down to what they show up and do on the board.
Yeah, I almost feel like I would rather have the team that just won it. They've gone through a lot of pressure together this year already, and I just think they gel a lot better. Like again, on a raw talent level, of course, you'd probably rather have the Netherlands there, but I don't know.
Thinking of a purely dramatic perspective, Van Veen versus Littler in the World Cup final. I know there's obviously two very other good players there, but with their little dynamic and narrative they have, is that an underlying?
Oh no, I never thought of that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah,
Mm.
Especially if the Netherlands win. Oh man, that would be good stuff.
Yeah, do you know what I think as well? Like, so Michael Van Gerwen, like we know, he's not been competing at the level to which he is happy competing. Like he hasn't been producing in the way that he likes to produce. He could really, really want to stick it in the face of anyone that will listen.
Yeah.
If he gets that victory tonight, and sweet comes Swiss Phil. We're not. Do you know we're close to being underway in semi-final number 2, and it's 7 p.m. Oh, we could. You know what?
That
was a quick first semi. Yeah,
it's going to be wrapped up gorgeously.
I think the other dynamic is that Daryl loves to give it, and I just wonder if he could. There's definitely an aspect with Littler of if you can kind of play his game, get in his head, like start messing. Like he was giving it to an amateur Spanish player in the first round of you can get under his skin easily, and if Daryl hits like a ton plus and starts going over to his family and starts firing them up and just starts giving it, like he could get under his skin. And I don't know, man. I think that plays for Northern Ireland's favor rather than England's.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think it's quite exciting. Like I'm genuinely. I
think the good news is we're in for a good final, no matter who wins. If we're being honest, which is good.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just doing a bit of I'm doing a bit of social mediaing at the same time, which for anyone that's ever met me or spent any time with me at all knows that it's as far away from both my abilities and desires to get involved in. But if we don't do a bit of that, people don't know we're here, and people don't know to come and join us in a chat room. And I think that Scott is like I I'm really struggling here. I know we've talked through all the different possible scenarios that might happen in the beginning in the final, but I can't see a scenario where the Netherlands don't win this. I think it's going to be pretty comfortable.
This feels like a big game, like an unknown game. Like, when you're watching two, as I see a talent for talent and individually, the Netherlands are much better, but I feel like these are really, really well matched.
There's only ever been 3 whitewashes in the history of the Premier League from the knockout stages. Obviously, there's a few, like that early round robin, there's been a hatful. But from the knockout stages, there's only ever been 3. Really? Which, considering some of the shite that comes through out of those round robins, I think is I think that's genuinely quite surprising. You would think there'd been a hatful, but there's only ever been 3. We've got the players on stage now, so we're not going to be long at all before we start to see some scores. I'm just gonna. Did I hit the little stats button? Am I sharing the right thing? I think I am. Yeah, we've got them over there as well.
I think it's just they haven't started yet, mate. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure I had that little bit on the right on, and I am honestly, I think I've got a setup here with 4 monitors, and my average of how many are working at any one time is 2. And the biggest challenge is having to predict which one's going to start flickering next so that I can start to drag windows all over the place. I don't know what's happening. I don't know whether it's I don't know whether I'm having driver issues. I don't know whether it's the problem is I've had a really busy day today and started setting up for this stream about 7 minutes before I went live. As soon as I realised that things weren't quite going to plan, it was sort of too late to not just crack on with it. And here we go, folks. We're off and running with Northern Ireland winning the bull. They'll have the break of throw. So if everyone just holds their own throw, Northern Ireland are in the final.
It's as simple as that, yeah. We'll be back in an hour, folks. See you then.
Even play the match.
Yeah, just don't get broke and you're in a World Cup final. It's easy, isn't it? Yeah. Nice and easy. Just don't get broke. I tell you what, I don't dislike that Netherlands World Cup shirt. Sometimes. And I know that it's clearly a national colour, it's what they go for, but sometimes the tones of orange can be offensive, can't it? There's different ways of doing it. And I think this year, that shirt with the black inside, I think it's quite a nice shirt.
It's better than the bright orange where they look like they should be working on the side of a motorway.
This is it. It's a subtle line. It's a thin line between Norwegian, nationalist clothing and celebrating their identity and high visibility safety wear, isn't it? It's a very thin, especially when we have some of those European events sponsored by the Steel Toe Cap Shoe Company. The Elton safety shoes, Euro safety shoes. Yeah, we've got safety shoes. It looks like I've gone to a work conference sometimes. There's loads of blokes trying to sell me PPE when I've got safety shoes and high vises everywhere. KA is in the chat, regular in the chat room. Delboy's joined us. Well, we've got lots of folks in this evening. If you are watching along, folks, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We play a little dirty trick and we make sure that nobody can get involved in the chat room unless you subscribe, because there's got to be something in it for everyone, aren't there? So if you find you can't chat and banter with everybody else and get your comments on the screen, it's because you're not subscribed. So get subscribed, forward the link to your family WhatsApp groups, tell them all to subscribe as well, because I reckon we're going to hit 50k subscribers before the match play or in time for the match play. If we do, I might have a little something up my sleeve by way of a prize or something. We might do a bit of a draw. I might do something. Ooh. I feel like we should. 50k is a big number, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Can we enter? I am subscribed. Can I enter?
The problem I've got with you is fucking postage.
I'll take care of that. I don't know.
I'll struggle to reduce a prize that's valuing actually exceeds.
Put it in a box. Send it across the Atlantic. It'll get here eventually.
Mate, you pay the postage. I'll deliver it in person. You just book me on a cheap flight. I'll come and I'll turn up at the door with it. There you go. Be like everything else in my house, signed by Glenn Durrant. That's right. Every time I get a room decorated, I've got to get Glenn round to sign some stuff. Sign that.
I'll tell you what, that's a speedy 2-0 for the Dutch.
It is, especially when that first one's against the throw, averaging a ton. They're doing little wrong, the lads from Northern Ireland. They're not doing a lot.
No, Rock missed three at 16s, though, didn't he, in that first leg? And I don't think you're going to get away with that with these against Van Veen and Van Gerwen.
Not today, I think. Not today.
It's so interesting because I feel like with so many of these matchups, like the clear, not to pick on him, but the clear fourth best player on stage will determine the match. And I feel like Gurney he'll determine if this is competitive or not, if he wants to.
Do you know what? That is I wish that, and it's probably for the best. I wish I'd have heard that 4 days ago. Otherwise, every bit of content and article and other commentary that I've done, I'd have been leaning into that. What a gorgeous little way of describing a double game. The fourth best player on the stage will do. And do you know what? It's bang on right as well. It's nailed on that.
I mean, you had. I'm trying to think of examples, but Spain, England with Justicia, who actually played pretty well. Like they almost won.
Nick Kenny.
Yeah, Nick Kenny, who showed patches but was kind of inconsistent. I think he averaged like 81, which is not near what everyone else was. I think Clayton was over a ton.
So that is
clinical. This
another two missed starts at double by the Northern Ireland team,
and another breaker throw for the Dutch.
Another breaker throw to the Dutch. Yeah, and you know what? The Dutch are playing well. Like they're averaging a ton. The Northern Irish team are playing superb right until they have to throw a dart at a double, and they just falling apart. Every time they have to throw a dart at a double, it's going wrong. That setup visit, by the way, was absolutely gorgeous in that last leg from Van Veen. To put that pressure on Northern Ireland. Absolutely lovely, that 140, in order to create that opportunity for the Netherlands to take advantage. But they're motoring ahead now.
I might need to issue an apology to the country of Netherlands shortly for seeing Northern Ireland win at this rate.
Yeah, sometimes you just keep it safe, keep it sensible. Everyone loves I like to manifest a bit of chaos, but every now and again you've just got to stay in the lane, haven't you? Stay in the lane and say the thing that's most likely to happen. Oh, dear me.
They're not making me look very smart so far.
No, and really, like, this is looking for all the world, like, and the 1-2-5 goes as well. Like that. So, I mean, at the minute, it starts to, we have to really give props, I think, at this point to the Netherlands, because they're averaging 102. They're popping out 1-2-5 finishes. Big opener, though, that 180 max opener. Like, you have got to hold your throw here if you're Northern Ireland, or it's over. If you go 3 away before you've got a leg on the board, my word, hang on. Oh. 4 in.
It's a great attempt at golden throw, though, and you need it.
What's the most we've gone on the watch along? Did we get
on the Premier League? Did we get 6 or 7?
6
in. I think we
maybe?
got 7.
I felt like we might have got 7.
I think so. That sounds about right.
I think we got 7 darts in. Do you know what? Michael van Gerwen as well is like the banter on stage we're seeing between these two Dutch players. Michael van Gerwen's all over with the arms are out, the expressions there, and Van Veen looks like he really looks like he's sort of playing off it and playing on it. Like Michael, big checkouts, big scoring visits, and if you look at the face of Jan Van Veen while those visits are taking place, like I think it's lifting so much pressure off Van Veen. MVG playing so well. You can see he's lapping it up. He's watching every throw and visibly reacting, almost like all but like fist bump in the air when Michael's doing something well.
I think
it's almost like it's allowing Van Veen to just sail under the radar and play his game. He's not the loudest, and in a non-insulting way, most charismatic fella, but it's just letting him crack on and focus on the darts, I think. Sorry,
I'm sure it's... Oh, no, you're good. I was just going to say, I'm sure it's a lot easier for him because, I mean, he's probably the first teammate of MVG who ever has felt like he's not playing for him, like he's playing with him. Like he's his teammate. Like there's not a hierarchy there. I mean, he's the captain. He's the Dutch number one. So if there is a hierarchy, it's him. But so I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably. I don't know if he's really treating it that way. I know he said in a presser like this is still kind of Michael's team, but I do think that probably plays a part and helps. And he should have confidence. I mean, he's a world's finalist 6 months ago. Not even five months ago.
I felt like this leg's huge.
Yeah.
Well, I think this goes 76. If it, hang on. Oh, wow.
Clinical.
Wow.
Tell you what, boys, we'll be live for the final by 7:30 at this rate.
Hey, do you know, it's a game changer, isn't it? If you want a Sunday, Dave could go and do an afternoon's work back there. He's able to do the watch song on his lunch hour.
I'm going outside and having a cigar after this. What's the rest of the World Cup?
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man.
Oh, that was such a big last dart from Van Veen, though.
See, this is what I mean with Daryl. I mean, you need this leg. You have a chance to break. To hold, and Josh throws in a maxi, and you throw in a 43.
Yeah, it's at 5-1 in a race to 8 as well. I'm not sure how much a holder throw really like G's you up either. I think everything I think feels, even if you take something big out and get it like. It still sort of feels like a consolation prize, doesn't it? We saw a big roar from Rock at the beginning of this leg when he pipped that 180 in on that first visit, but like it still feels a bit of a consolation prize, doesn't it? Just to hold a leg.
I think you got to hold this and get into the break, haven't you? And
I think the only thing positive they'll have going into the break is if they get a peek at the averages and be like, other than a missed double here and there, like we're not playing terrible. They're just playing really well. Josh is scoring like he always has. Like he just missed those darts in that first visit or first leg. All right.
Yeah, do you know what, Dave? You hit it right on the head with your analogy of the fourth best player deciding a match, and I think that's pretty much because I think the Netherlands, they're solid. They've clicked, haven't they? They seem to have really clicked as a pair. And I think the person that's benefiting most from that is Van Veen. Like he looks so sort of relaxed and genuinely happy. Like I can't remember seeing him play on stage and smile this much during a game ever. I cannot remember a game when I've seen Van Veen like visibly smile and look like he's having loads of fun. And I get there's more players on stage and you've got to have a bit of interaction, but I think more than perhaps anybody else in this World Cup so far has been freed by playing doubles, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like this is. I get it's not a ranking event. This is, in my opinion, this is my favorite non-major of the year. I think it's so much fun. I think it's very unique. I know some of us at Online Darts don't feel the same, which is okay. But I just think that like these guys, you know, it's what you put into it. Like when these guys are having fun and they look like they want to win it and they want, you know, all of these things. They genuinely want to win it just for the pride of it rather than a paycheck to move up in the rankings, whatever. Like that's where it becomes fun. And I think that's what this is. I know there's slam spots on the line and things like that, but
I think who's left that's not. Well, I suppose there's only Gurney in there that's not in the start, I suppose, of what's left. But you're right in that some of those that came through and this afternoon, I think we can reflect a little bit and say that like Latvia have had really hard lines there. They've been a real standout. We talked a lot, I think, or lots of people talked about the potential in perhaps Poland and in Ireland, and nobody was saying Latvia last week, were they? But they looked really good, and it'd be interesting to see that. I suppose very different players in terms of what they've done before, what they might do in the future. But it's good to see that darts still has some prospects in Latvia, isn't it? In that part of the world.
I mean, they were a 144 on the deciding leg from having the opportunity to play Van Gerwen and Van Veen, and they've done themselves absolutely no shame at all.
Yeah, I think Melderis needs to be at Q school. I think he averaged 95 in that match. Like he was great. He has a really good throw. There were so many times where I'm like, here's where he'll crack his lack of stage presence and experience. Like, no, he was awesome. I think there's a lot of fun stories. And I think as darts, it's become a more global game. It expands into Asia. It expands into all these different continents. It's obviously growing here in North America. I just think this event will become more prominent and more competitive, especially in the Thursday, Friday sessions. But I've had a blast watching it. I do think the format could do with changing, but that's a different discussion.
Yes. Right. I was trying to have a look, and this is bad, isn't it? Like, I love the World Cup. I've always enjoyed the World Cup, and it's fun. But I was trying to work out earlier about the interesting pairings that we might see next year. Because there's a real when you look at some of these, like we say every year about a number of teams, don't we? We say that arguably they aren't represented by their two best players at the time. You could have made a case for what Wales probably needed was Derek Coulson on the team at the minute. He seems to be about the best, most informed Welshman on the planet. I think at the minute is DC. So. But I was looking, and we could see a real mix-up again next year. There could be some really interesting pairings as people, because there's a number of people on the slide down, but there's a number of them rogue picks on their way up as well. And I think this could be genuinely interesting next year's picks. Back underway again, though.
That's a big 180 from the Dutch.
Well. It's a big leg already, I think, isn't it?
Feels like it's last chance saloon a little bit, done at 6-2. Oh.
Ooh.
You're going to have to fill this up, really.
They just can't keep pace with them, can they? They cannot.
They're trying. They are trying.
I don't know whether again it's and they did it last year, so that I suppose I shouldn't be too dismissive on it, but there is a challenge. Northern Ireland played fairly late this afternoon. They played. They were the third game on. They were a long game, that 8-7 with Latvia. They sort of really went through it, and it perhaps that challenge of filling the time in between and knowing how to manage yourself and. Again, maybe sometimes not doing what you would normally do because you're a partner and you're in a pair and you could be out of sync. But I do think it's a real a real difficult thing for some players is playing well in the afternoon and then coming back this afternoon.
If you look at we don't have a lot of data on doubles, but if you look at kind of just results in the single, I'll show for a second. Got 5 perfect.
Wow,
Josh is scoring like a maniac.
A 102 average and they're getting pumped 6-2.
I feel like he's a one-man band, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
There was a couple of visits there. That last one where they went out and Josh was like, he looked very positive when he was fist bumping Daryl, but when Daryl missed the double and you could see Josh back just look at the sky and he must have been thinking, come on, like I think he's being weighed down a little bit the minute Josh carrying all of Northern Ireland's hopes on his back.
Yeah.
It's 164 with that. Nope.
Before the break, Josh's scoring average, so his first 9 was 124. Daryl's was 78. That's nearly 50 points.
Okay, this
It is right.
If this 70 goes, and it does again. Like they've been clinical. I think ruthless, hasn't it? I'm very impressed. Like I'm very, very impressed with the Dutch team. Really impressed.
So, assuming we know what's going to happen here, do the Dutch go into the final as favourites? I mean, they won't with the bookies.
They're doing now,
but yeah.
For me, like I will get to predictions in perhaps after this leg. Like it could be
in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could be getting I was going to say we could be getting the predictions in 6 darts at one point. There we were looking at, Slack. I think their 26th visit from Northern Ireland going out with a whimper here, not managing to put up a challenge at all. And I did think the Netherlands would win this comfortably. I didn't get to 8-2 though in my prediction. Another max, like 83 after 9. They've got all the time in the world here.
I wonder. I'm going to look.
Another just trebleless visit from Northern.
The biggest gap between partner averages in this year's World Cup, because this is going to be.
Oh, there's a project for you.
This is going to be
that one, Dave.
And there we go.
This is like 30 to 40 points. It's got to be.
That is. I mean, I tell you what, that was. You know what? It was unsurprising for a number of reasons, but I've got to give massive credit there, like real credit to the Dutch players, because that was a solid performance. Do you know what? They just didn't allow themselves at all to get dragged into anything, did they? They just went about their work in such a clean fashion, really solid. The dynamic between them both on stage, now there's no real secret that Michael van Gerwen hasn't always got along with his other partners, and he's never really, but it genuinely seems between the pair of them that they've got a real good relationship, a real good pairing here. It's going to be a good final, I think. I'm excited.
I think England could be in bother. I apologise to the country of the Netherlands and all of our Dutch fans here at Online Darts. I was way off.
Oh, I was too. I said 8-5. I mean,
I said 8-7 to Northern Ireland. That was way off. That's why I don't gamble, folks.
No, it's not worth it.
Oh, it certainly isn't in a tournament like this. But again, we get there and we go, we've ended up with seed number 1 and seed number 2 and player number 1, 2, 3, and 4 from the world rankings. It's we've gone through lots of twists and turns and surprising things and everything else to end up exactly where common sense tells you we should and will end up at the end of it, haven't we?
It was like
It just shows the rankings are pretty good.
Yeah, it was like right before this year's Premier League final. People were like, "Oh, of course it's a Toulouse," and we're like, "No, you don't understand. You haven't watched for the last 4 months. This wasn't supposed to happen."
Yeah, that's it. And that is the thing, isn't it? Is that no matter what you do, sometimes you're still just going to end up with the best players winning darts matches against players that aren't as good as them. So
yeah,
one for England, right? So let's do some prediction. In fact, let's wait a little bit for predictions because we've got a little bit of time. I wonder what the time difference is. The time allowance. I'm gonna send a little message because we've got a chap in the venue, haven't we? We've got a bloke.
Go to the bathroom quick while we wait for that.
Good man. Netherlands look unstoppable, says guy. Do you know what? Like, I am seeing more and more in the chat room. Like, is it though? Are people only thinking this because they're judging Humphries and Littler exclusively on their World Cup form and performances, and forgetting that they are Luke Humphries and Luke Littler?
Oh, absolutely. Like, if we apply common sense, if these played singles against each other, 2 singles against each player, England would come out on top. Whatever year that was, it was Littler Van Veen, Littler Van Gerwen, and Humphries. But as I say, I was chatting with Dave earlier. I don't know if it's a rhythm thing, if it's the pressure that they think they should be winning. It hasn't quite translated for the 2 of them yet on the big stage. But surely they're too good for it not to. Like that, my head just keeps saying these 2 boys are too good at throwing darts for it not to click at some point. Surely,
yeah, it's a frustrating one as well, isn't it? Because, and I think they'll, if they don't win, obviously they will be frustrated because they both want to win everything that they played. But I think that to every other country that's participated, and I include the Netherlands in this as well, making the final is classed as a good result. To some, it's a remarkable result, but to every other team, making the final is a good result. Oh my word, and I'm really sorry to cut myself off there, but it is that time of year again when we're getting a Blackpool-based Sky video, and we can, and not only that, but they've literally just shown like Coral Island, the arcades and the casino and everything like that. Like, it's not even, it's not, you know what? Nothing about the darts bit of those videos got me excited in the slightest. It was thinking of like working in the venue for 12 hours, coming out and going and playing blackjack in Coral Island or something like that. So that they're the little excitements, the nighttime lights on the tower, and it's nearly here. So to every other country, making a final is like, the Netherlands will still be frustrated if they don't win because they both want to win trophies. But if they don't win, people I think will reflect in weeks to come and say that was a good outing from the Netherlands. Got beat in the final by the 2 Lukes. England, it's different, isn't it? If they don't win the final, it's crap. Like, it's a bad performance. That's what, and that is what the media, the red tops, the story will be. It will be national news if they don't win the World Cup. Like, getting to the final isn't enough for these 2.
Oh, 100%. I mean, these 2 are comfortably, without doubt or rhyme or reason, the best 2 players in the world. They go into every tournament. The 2 favourites were the booties. And even in singles tournaments, if they don't win, it's a disappointing tournament for them. That's just where their standard is and where their bar is.
Yeah, it does. It mounts the pressure. Gavin is in there. He's asking, who have England got to play? So England will play the Netherlands in the final, which I reckon is coming up, genuinely, folks, in about 10 minutes. Like, I think it's going to... I've got a bit of a as everyone knows, I've got a contact in the venue, and we're working on what we think is around 15 minutes between.
Tell you what, this could be a really quick night, couldn't it? Like if this goes like, if there's a big 6-leg gap in this final, this could be very quick.
We'll be like Netherlands play Japan at 9 o'clock, and you know what? There will be people, and there are people that think of these things like darts gets lots and lots of viewers in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands are about to play in a final. You will lose lots and lots of viewers if you cross over with the Netherlands playing in the World Cup at 9 p.m. So I think that there is a great deal of good thought in getting this done quickly so that you can maximize people in the Netherlands, out in the pub with the sport on the telly, having a beer, and you could flow very, very nicely from the Netherlands in a World Cup final to the Netherlands playing Japan at 9 o'clock. So
could be a slow day in the Netherlands tomorrow for Monday morning.
If
it goes well for them.
Yeah, it could be a long old day, couldn't it? I've been looking, that's one of the things I've been looking is clashes, like potential clashes between, the World Cup and darts. And the scary one for me is I could, and I say scary, it could actually be amazing. But I'm due to be in the match play for the final, for the World Cup final. Yeah.
Oh
but that could be wonderful because I'm not there as a punter. I'm me and Barzy will be in the press room, so we'll be in good company. But yeah, if England make the World Cup final, I'll be in Blackpool at the match play for it.
I think you're safe, mate. If I'm completely honest, I think you're fine.
You know what? I haven't I have not made any allowances for it, believe you me. I have not made any allowances for it at all.
I'm debating going to the Ghana match. I'm still not sure. I might do it.
I was gonna ask you if you were going to any games, mate. Are you going to see anything in person, or are you seeing it all on the screens?
It's tough because it's so much money. The U.S. doesn't leave the West Coast in the group. So it's hard for me to justify. Like I would just go see two random nations, and I'm enough of a soccer fan football fan, sorry, to go to a match. Like obviously I know a lot of the players and stuff, so I might go. I have a buddy going. He's sitting with the Ghana section, which I think is very funny. So we'll get two pasty white boys in the Ghana section would be a lot of fun. I would probably have a blast. So I'm thinking about it.
No, I completely agree. I think that's if you're going to go and see it, that's that if you're going to go as a neutral, right? You want to be sat in the most fun part of the stadium, don't you? Like that. Or I would imagine that's where I would want anyway.
I bet the Ghana fans are a good group sitting having a few beers with and a party with.
So my buddy lives like in downtown Boston, and he's talking about how everywhere he walks, there's Scottish people everywhere because of last night's match, and they're just like having so much fun. All the stories coming out of the World Cup are just hysterical.
Well, it did look absolutely superb once the Scots started singing "Flower of Scotland" and it took off, didn't it? The noise in there was mad.
Yeah.
Something wrong with graphic. Yeah, there's not. It's me clicking around. I'm just farting around with what we're going to put on the screen. It's mainly because we've still got the TBC on this side, and I just think they haven't updated it yet. So that will be, I'm sure, updating very soon to show Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen, although it won't be in that order. I've just said them backwards, and I should start reversing that because Jan van Veen is officially the team captain. Someone has asked, when is the final? We're expecting the final.
Flash score says 8 p.m. I don't know if that's anything to go off.
Absolutely no chance, in my opinion. I don't think they will be going anywhere near 8 o'clock to get things started.
On the chance it will be quicker, I am going to run to the pre-match toilet just in case.
Yeah, you do that. I think I'm going to nip to. I think I might treat myself to I might treat myself to America's favorite beer. I think I've got some Budweisers in the fridge, even though they are alcohol free. They're 0%. I've got a very early start at work tomorrow, and if I start at 7:30, I think it could be a very messy rest of the evening. So,
fair enough.
But I might just treat myself to a little drop of something during the final. I think we've got into ad break now, and I don't think we'll be close to 8 p.m. when we get started. If you are watching along for the first time, folks, please make sure you do get subscribed, because we do this sort of thing all the time. So we stream every single Pro Tour event, every single Euro Tour. So every game that happens in the Pro Tour is on our screen at the middle. We do a bit of everything for that. Euro Tour watch-alongs as well. We've got a show every Monday night, 8 p.m. BST, which we call the Live Lounge, where we talk about what's been happening in the world of darts for a couple of hours every week. Loads of chat and banter in the chat room. We're also here after every single major TV event. Within 10 minutes, the last dart going in. The Fallout Bar is live on our channel. So loads and loads of dart content. So make sure you are subscribed with your notifications switched on so you get to see and follow it all. I'm just having a quick look back at the football. 5-1. The Germans quickly got a foothold on that, haven't they?
Yeah, this has gotten pretty ugly. Tough for Curacao because, the goal differential is the key with all these third place finishers, and they are really on the back foot now. You just wanted to almost get away with this and not have it be ugly.
Yeah, it's what you don't want to be on the receiving end of is, and I often think this even for the minnows, if you like, those that we know are coming in, really under, and we say the same with the darts as well, don't we? Like, the last thing you want to be is on the wrong side of a record. Like, you don't want somebody like me in 15 years' time browsing through Wikipedia, like trying to entertain people in a chat room because they've pulled random statistics out of the time you were completely annihilated 11. Because we do it enough to darts players as well. There are poor blokes who've played very, very good darts that exist now only on the wrong side of really bad statistics, bad records in it, have been thumped 10-0 or something like that.
Oh, that was a good shot. Oh, it was close.
Oh, we've got a new series of House of Dragons.
Oh,
House of Dragon, 22nd of June. I shall enjoy that. I quite like that. That whole universe, I think, is little blue screen. We must be nearly. Budweiser might be Swill, but I'll tell you what it is. It's one of the better 0% beers, because most of them are not good. But that is one of the better ones, especially if it's out the fridge.
Yeah, I haven't had many, but I have heard that. I've heard that and Heineken are probably the best ones.
So I'll tell you why the Heineken one's quite good. Where I've noticed quite a lot of pubs have it like draft on a pump, and if you have it draft on a pump, it just tastes like lager that's come out of a pump on draft. It's very easy to drink it. The problem is when it's served in a can or a bottle, like, it's hard to put much life into it. But yeah, when it comes out of a pump, it's good. It's pretty good. Oh, we got a nice little
yeah, that's like a recap montage.
Yeah, do you know what? And it was a lot of those. There were teams that won't be the same teams next year.
Yeah,
Team Belgium's definitely going to get a mix-up next year.
I was pleased with my Statesmen this year. I thought they did well to win their group, and
yeah, I meant to say that. I meant to bring a bit of the US because I thought they were excellent. I wasn't sure. I think the group was my favourite one. You know, I picked it on the live lounge. I said, you know, if you could say to me, you can only watch one group, but you get to watch every dart, like that's the group I would watch because, and the reason it's my need for and want for chaos. I thought it could have been absolutely anything. I thought it could have been the drizzling shits, or it could have been absolutely superb from all three teams. There was just the potential for anything to happen, and that's what we quite enjoy, and that's what we want. So I was really looking forward to it, and they did the better work of all three. I thought they were really solid, very, very impressive. More of it, please. And I do think, I genuinely believe, I look a lot at the talent that's in that North American tour, the players that we see coming through. I think that it's only a matter of time, as much as it sticks in my throat to say it, before we are going to see USA competing. I'm not saying they're going to be seeded, but I think it's going to be the pairing, the strength of pairings that come through. They're going to be really, really competitive in the World Cup in future years. I really believe it.
I know Stowe will not be there, but I'll give you a little question. Over under 1.5 North Americans win in the first round at the Masters in 2 weeks. I'm still leaning under, but that gave me a little confidence. Canada looked all right.
Yeah, do you know what?
There's both of Canada's players will be there. Long and
there's enough players. I tell you what, I like. There's enough players there. So what we tend to do sometimes these World Series events, when you look at the local qualifiers and the others, is like I'll come to a view and say like no, because I would say on their best day they can't. Like I'd say, on their best day I think there's enough North American players that on their best day could and can. Like if they find their game, they can compete. And that it's whether or not the timing of it allows, 2 or 3 of them to all be
on it,
playing well and there at the right time. So yeah, we'll see, but I'm looking forward to it. Again, we always see a good show, don't we? Like we always see a good show over there. We're gonna get a real good bunch of matches, no matter what. I think. All right, I'm just going to do the socials now. Dan's back, and you two can have a crack.
Yeah, I'll be at night 2 of the U.S. Masters, so I'll be watching night 1, hoping no upsets happen. I'd like to see 1 or 2. I'd like to see 1 or 2, but it's hard. Like my wife was so excited to see, Stephen Bunting and Titanium, whatever, and he freaking lost in the first round. So I had to break the news to her the next morning. I was like, hey, that's not going to be there this year. So maybe this year we'll make amends.
Have we done predictions for the final yet then, folks? Is it around that time?
Not yet. Feel free to crack on while I do a bit of this.
Go on then, Dave. You're in the hot seat. Is the neutral here? What are you feeling for the final?
Whatever I say, just do the opposite, because 8-5 Northern Ireland was one of the worst that Online Darts has ever seen when it comes to predictions.
I don't know, mate. Some of the fallouts over Christmas.
Yeah, oh man, I was delirious. I don't remember half of those. That was a lot of darts. I will go. It's so fun to want to say the Netherlands, but I think England gets it done. I will go 10-8 England.
I am going to go 10-7 Netherlands.
Whoa.
Mr. Simpson, you traitor.
I know. I feel it's really weird for me. I've seen too much good stuff. And I know that they're peak and trough, the pair of them, but yeah, I have legitimately seen too much good stuff from both players that's just got me thinking, yeah, they could do it. It could happen.
I'm going to say this is where the Lukes figure it out. They've had some time on the practice board together. 10-4 England.
Ooh. I kind of like
Although if Mr. Simpson picked England, I would have picked Netherlands and just not jinx
well
England. Like I had that in the back of my mind.
You do the right thing. You do the right thing, mate. We do have to try our best to provide some sort of balance. Get your predictions in the chat room. If you're watching along, then make sure you get your predictions in. We'll stick them on the screen. We'll see who can get anywhere near to predicting what's actually going to happen. The one thing I do like, and I know that if someone else makes a final and we get a bit of a rogue run and things like that, then who knows? But this could be, it's a 50-50 final, isn't it, on paper, sort of. Not really, but it's as close to as we get to one in the World Cup.
It's what you wanted. If you sat down at the start of the tournament and said, what 4 players do you want to be playing in the last game Sunday evening? This is what I think everyone would have wanted to see.
Right, let me just get this last post out.
10-9 England. A couple of them in the chat. Oh, imagine the drama of a deciding leg. That could be brilliant. Here's a question for you, folks. If it does go 9-9, out of the 4 players, who would you want stepping up with 3 darts in hand to pin a double to win for the country?
I think it has to be.
I don't think it's an English player.
Really?
No,
I disagree.
Go on.
Oh, I want Littler. You guys are crazy. You wouldn't want Littler?
I'd take Jan 3 in hand.
I think I'd have Humphreys.
Maybe it depends on the. I mean, it depends. It does depend on like the double and stuff.
Right. While you debate that, I'm going to go and grab a drink, and we are though. We've got, so now's the time. Quick, get your predictions in the chat room because Swiss Phil is on stage. We are about to start the final, folks.
Let us know in the chat what you'd have for that one as well, quickly.
It is real busy.
It does depend because, like, if they're on 16s, I know Littler doesn't love 16s. Jan is probably top 3 in the world at double 16. So,
I mean, if I wanted someone to score, it would be Littler. Like Littler would be the one for a scoring visit, 100%.
But if you have 3 in hand, clean double. I guess I can see it. I don't agree, but I can understand it. I mean, I think he had the highest finishing percentage in the world last year.
Who, Littler or Jan?
I think Jan did. I can fact check that.
I wouldn't be shocked by that. I mean, Littler's isn't shabby. It's just if there's one slight, I don't want to even call it a weak point because it's beyond average, but it's not as strong as he's scoring, is it?
No, yeah, and he said it. He said it yesterday in his post match. He was like, "My doubling's been bad."
However, knowing my form this evening, he's going to come out and pin 8 out of 9. And he's going to get home for England, no doubt.
2026. Well, I said this the other day. Number 1 in 2026 is insane. It's Jeffrey DeGraff, which is incredible.
We could have been here a while, before that name popped up,
oh my goodness. He has been really good this year. I thought he was really good for Sweden.
What's his number?
44.46%, 0.1% ahead of Sebastian Białecki, who's second. Then Nyman, Price, Littler. Hedda at 5th or 6th is surprising because he's been poor.
Yeah, he usually gets shaky towards the back end as well. Hedda, doesn't he? Like
he's been a mess for the last year now. All right. Well, I was looking for last year.
Oh, I'm intrigued to see whether these handshakes are jovial. Will they be ice cold? Am I just trying to make a mountain out of a molehill and look for some
I agree.
drama?
Him and Van Veen and Littler looked fine, but I like the thing with Luke that I think makes him the villain is one, he's a big giving it over celebrating sometimes, giving it back, and then he's I mean, he's still he's a young man, but he struggles with losing sometimes. He's not a very graceful loser, which is I'll be interested to see if they lose, like how he handles it. I would imagine not well, but
A couple of like big fishes back and forth could make this a bit.
it would be
tasty,
fun.
wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
I think he does it to himself once in a while, but
I can't believe they haven't updated their live scores yet.
Do you not remember it from the Premier League final, mate? I am shocked it's run as smooth as it has.
Yeah, just to make you all aware, folks, the graphics that we use on the screen, tracking the game as it's going, they're not ours. We're not quite lucky enough as an organisation to run a bit of software like that. We just literally use the PDC's live scores. So that's what we're relying on. But I think we're just getting very, 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 very close to things. People
so someone's timed the coffee break at the wrong time, haven't they?
Ah, right. So they've managed to actually get things started. I mean, hang on a minute.
what's going on here?
I mean, it could be right. It looks like they're about ready to throw on my side, but
yeah, I mean, we could just do with perhaps. I can't believe they've left them on TB. So that's unbelievably disrespectful. Unless this is, unless they're like loading it.
The scores they're not even changing how many they have left.
Ah, surely this is just part of the setup, isn't it? It's gotta be.
What's happening? Come on,
We're
give
a
us
mess.
the
Right,
scores.
hang on. Right, we're again, just to reiterate, folks, this is not our software. This is the PDC's software. We're going to come back out of it. Right, we're going to hit live scores. We're just going to make sure.
The crowd will be lively for this with Germany up 7-1 on Brazil. I mean, Curacao.
Wow. Right, hang on. So, looks like we've got a bit of live. There we go, match center. Right.
Okay, at least we can see what's happening. We can live with that.
Right.
Solid
It's
ball throw for the Dutch.
1-0 to TBC.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
At least the scoring is working now.
Yeah, scoring is working. We can see what's going on. We can actually talk you all through it. But welcome to the final, folks. This is it's pretty exciting. Big.
Both have started strong.
Yeah, Netherlands on throw, folks. The Netherlands have won the ball. So just hold your throw and your World Cup champions. Hold your throw 10 times. Hold your throw.
Come back in half an hour or so. Netherlands will lift it. They've held the throw. Jobs are good.
Yeah, hold your throw 10 times against England and you're fine. Nice and easy. See what? It looks solid as well. I'm absolutely the thing that frightens me most as an England fan and as someone that wants to see England win is the sort of stage presence and partnership between MVG and Van Veen. It just looks like really comfortable. They look like they're really sort of supporting each other, and Van Veen looks on top of the world.
This is a big 50 right here.
And that's the way to take it out as well.
You just know it was littler as well. I'm a little bit behind, but treble 10, double 10. There's only one.
Treble 10, double 10. There's only one man that goes that way in this game.
I'm surprised more people don't do that. Maybe that's
I always start 70 treble 10. And I've had loads of stick for it over the years because 70 is one of those things. There's that many different ways of going and everybody likes something different. But I have always started 70 treble 10. And it's because, and my theory is, and obviously these guys don't apply the same theory, is that I'm crap. So I miss treble 10 a lot. But if I hit the 10, I've got to go.
Single to double, yeah.
You're then all at the top of the board.
And if I drop down into the 15, then there's a few ways out. If I drop it the treble 15, there's a few. Like it's like the reason I always start on that treble 10 is there's like a circle of miss area, and it all still gets me out, even though I'm shit. Like I do think crap players need different routes sometimes, or there are better routes for crap players than there are for the professionals.
That's why I love
can agree on that.
48. I'm getting a dart at double 16 or double
Yeah,
top. One of the
just
two.
aim right at the
for that
wire.
middle wire.
Right at the wire. I do that every time.
Oh, that's a big 113 from the Dutch.
Yeah, do you know what? They needed it as well. Like up against that 67, there was pressure on it, but it does just maintain. You know, like I said, all they have to do. You know, I said at the beginning, hold your throw 10 times, and you're the champions. Now it's just hold your throw 8 times. That's all you need to do now if you're Dutch.
They might not even need to do that after this. The way this leg started, they've got a chance to put some pressure on.
Monster average. I know there's a long way to go, but the Dutch average in 100.
Oh, was that last one bounced out?
We're not making comments on bounce outs at the minute. I think we're in trouble.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, not a great tournament for the boards, but
see if we can get Gary on the live lounge Monday.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah, I prefer not to speak because I could do with getting sent a couple of new ones and all. I could do without pissing anyone off. I could do with a couple more of these shirts getting sent up and all. Then these will be fucking drying up if we don't stop putting the boot in. Oh dear. Dear me.
Oh, that's some setup shot, that, to be fair.
It is naff. And again, absolutely no pressure on it whatsoever. And it looks like this exchange of holds is going to continue. Oh,
that's that. You don't want to give the Dutch a shot at 149 for an early break, do you? The odds are against, but you don't want to give them any opportunity.
No, that is it. It's minimizing the opportunities for things to go wrong, isn't it? That is an opportunity for things to go wrong. You know, we've exchanged 4 holes of throw now, but going off like that, and then a 1-2-5 back from England. If this is here we are. My word.
Oh, this is a standard, this, like.
Just as I was saying that, you can't do that. You're going to give them a chance and let them in. I'll just pop back.
But still, I mean, no one's blinking yet.
Pin a little 180. Keep us going. Well, there we go. 160 after 9. That'll do.
How much pressure can you put on it?
Fucking hell, bite a lot, I think. There you go. How much do you want?
No. Oh, this is huge, this 160.
Do you remember me taking the piss earlier saying over the long format, you'll never get anyone break the record? You won't get anyone in the top 10. You won't get anyone.
What was it, 104 to get in the top 10?
104 gets you in the top 10, yeah. But people have only ever done that in short format games. It's never been done in a knockout. Like it's always been.
That doesn't help, though. You can't be missing doubles like that. Tops. Nope.
No. Now.
I think this is Littler.
We like double 10, Team England. Hang on. There we go. Right. 3, 2.
You want that going to a third dart, did you? You wanted that second dart.
No, but that is a breaker throw, though. That's the now again 180 from Luke Littler got England there to 56 with Netherlands back on 160. Like it shouldn't. I know it was a breaker throw, but it shouldn't have got messy. But like they are getting drawn in a little bit now, England, aren't they? You know they're winning it, but it's not comfortable. It's not easy.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen that Littler first one, then he missed a double. It's another. Got to watch what we say, but it's another dart that didn't enter the board and stay in the board. We'll not use that term, but it's another one on the floor.
Oh, he's giving it to the crowd.
The board rejected
having a break after 5. Yes, the board rejected it. Very good.
There we go. That's a good phrase, isn't it? I quite like it. Yes, it was rejected. Oh, he has an half. Give it some as well, hasn't he?
My only thing with him is I love that he gives it. I think it's fun, but he can't do this boy who cried wolf, like, oh, I'm just a little kid kind of thing when like he gets it back, like when people are booing him and stuff, like just lean into being the villain. Like that's just because he's done it. I mean, he doesn't do it as much anymore, but I think that's what turns people off sometimes with him. Also the fact that he's just like incredible and like dominant. People don't like that.
It's got to say, there's only so long people love a winner for. Like, they love the winner when it's new, but then ultimately people start to turn against it pretty quick, don't they? Yeah. Especially in this country.
Yeah, Humphries did look baffled. No, so, in fairness, right, and he says in his Winmore top, going to stick up for the board with his Winmore board behind him, right? But genuinely, right, and so Gary's mentioned in the chat room, I'll stick it on it, so he's mentioned the Humphries. He did look puzzled. However, when I saw the slow motion replay, and if you're watching it on the telly, you probably saw it as well. He took a horrific, collision off the other darts. He took a real big deflection on the way in. It didn't go into the treble 20 at all. It dipped itself into the corner of the treble 5, but I think it had that much of its trajectory taken off it and be kicked to one side that it didn't go into treble 20, it went in the treble 5.
There you go, folks. Heard it here first. The boards are brilliant. Humphries' pony. Dan Simpson.
I think I might have just pissed do you know what? This is the problem is, right? And this is our problem, right? You get into bed with too many people, right? That when you can't say anything.
You've got to annoy someone somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, I'll get a text off someone in Humphries' camp or something like that. I'll do something I shouldn't have fucking done. Oh, well, never mind. In the chat room, we've done some predictions before, and anyone willing to change it? I don't know. I'm just pulling a few out there. We had an 11-7 England pick. That I'm probably happy to lean into now a little bit with that break of throw.
My 10-4 is not looking great, although a little 3 legs on the trot later, and then all of a sudden it could happen.
Yeah, 10-7. I think, Matthew's gone 10-8 Netherlands. Again, from this point, it's that break of throw that if the Netherlands are going to have to find something big because England are scoring so well. They're not. The Netherlands aren't getting opportunities on the England throw. England they are creating opportunities on, against the darts and on Netherlands throw, but Netherlands aren't really getting a go against the throw, and I don't know if they're going to get many.
I feel like the next one for England's huge because it's all well and good breaking the throw, but you need to kind of confirm the break and hold your throw on the next leg. And if they can do that and establish a 4-2 lead and start attacking the Dutch throw again, it could run away quickly.
I tell you what, I don't like, and I've been a right grump today. I do not like a break after 5 legs.
Not in quite used to 7,
not in doubles. It's already the rhythm is so sort of disjointed as it is, and not it's already not quite as it should be, and. It just sucks it out even more, that rhythm out a little bit. And a break after 5 is pony. Not a fan.
Would set play make the World Cup more exciting? This probably isn't the time to have the conversation during the actual final. But
Littler's double 10 miss wasn't the board either. He threw it flight first, I think. It didn't whatever. I think the board will reject your dart if you don't throw the point at it.
I think he's just that good. He's bored. He's trying to flip the dart in the air.
I don't know what. I genuinely think. I think something has gone wrong on the release, and it's almost gone sideways into the board. Yeah, it's. I am going to stick up the board there on 2. On 2 occasions in this final where we've had 2 darts rejected, and I don't accept either of them.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, the board was right to reject them.
That's a nice 12 dart holder throw. That
nice. Averages up to 208-ish. This could be. It could be the greatest final performance of all time. Even if it's not the best, and the best performance of all time in a knockout game. Because honestly, when you go through those top 10 averages ever, it's see, we got one semi-finals, but that was 2014 where it was first to four.
First to four is nothing, though. I mean, if you chuck 3-12, well, not that it's easy, but 2-12 darters in, there's 125 for them two legs. And as long as you don't do anything drastically wrong for the others, it's going to look pretty handsome, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not having that. And I know we've got a change in format over the years, you know, where we've got...
This is big.
Krzysztof Ratajski and Krzysztof Kachuk. I've got the number 1 and number 10 in that record. Like, they are the best ever at scoring loads of points. 5-2 is massive.
And another break.
Absolutely massive, I'm afraid. And we are going to be wrapped up nice and early.
Wow. 10-4's looking all right now.
And you know what? They're not doing much wrong, are they? But they're getting absolutely blown away. 111 average is in a doubles game. It's mad. We've never seen this, and we know, but we've said all along, haven't we? Like this
is what we've knew was possible.
Yes.
Yep.
You just haven't done it for a full match yet. But
no, and we they do have the potential to be unplayable. And like I said earlier, like this doubles pairing could tear up every single record. That was a gorgeous checkout as well. Right? Humphreys, that was lovely. That double 5 was safe as houses, never in doubt.
I mean, the Dutch averaging 99.1. Like, they're not doing out wrong. Yeah.
No, and able to set up here as well. So, like, that 93, again, perfect setup, leaving 48. So, like, you know you're going to get a go at it. You don't know how much pressure's going to be on, but really
Not
with
a
those
lot.
two, yeah, but and how much pressure is on when you've got 48? Like, I think these two just take 48 out, don't they? You know, it's not, it doesn't really matter. There you go.
Yep, we certainly do.
Outside.
This has swung very quickly, this game, in the last 8 minutes or so.
Yeah. I thought we were in for a 10-8. I thought 10-9. Like, I thought we were.
Do you know what? I
Blink
know
of an eye.
I said that, and I don't. I maintain it. I do not like a break after 5. I just don't like it at all. But it's like every now and again, breaks are unpredictable. Like, you never quite know what happens, and it's hard to predict. They've come back. It's as if they've looked at each other in the break, and Humphreys and Littler, and said, "Can we just go and get this done? Like,
Yeah.
Are we? You know, can we get this finished now?"
Like, if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to win. So let's just go do it.
Yeah, I know that the Dutch will want to watch their team play the World Cup, you know, in the Soccer World Cup in an hour, but I didn't think they'd want to get off and see all of the pre-game build-up as well. You know, they don't want to see Gary Lineker talk about it for an hour first. Surely to God.
Oh, is he going to leave the fish? No. Boo.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Oh, this could be big from a big. Oh, nice, lovely 180 to set up the double 18.
A total.
A little bit of resistance. Right, this has to go.
There you go. It's good. I think after the break, when you're getting pumped like that, you need, because sometimes it can feel like a long time since you've won a leg. You know, when if you get broken straight after the break, like it feels like a very long time since you've done anything productive in the game. You know,
Yeah.
and so I think getting that my there. Here we go. There's 3. Let's see what can happen here.
I do have to shout out that brilliant comment in the chat from my fellow Sunderland fan, I believe. As per the on-screen scoreboard, the Dutch haven't turned up. I don't think that's really the case, but fair enough. I like that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, absolutely spot on. Quite right as well. Quite right. It is. It does feel a little bit like, yeah, they are still just playing against TBC. It's just, you know, a couple of lads chucking 1-2, 1-2. What if this goes as well? Tips the average back up over 110. But again, they've got all the time in the world. You know that they can have at least 6 from here.
Probably 9.
At least 6. They're not going to take it out this time. But again, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. They're not under pressure. All is fine.
I mean, that's not enough, really.
There is no need to panic at all. And I think that is the key, or that's a big key, I think, for Team England in this final, is at no point have they had to panic. If this 25 doesn't go and they start to mess around, there's no pressure on them. They have played very relaxed. We know how much pressure is on them. We said before the game, if they don't win it, it's a failure. Like, not winning is a failure. But they haven't been to the sword, have they, at all? They've just been able to coast.
I mean, the first couple of days they've had to chase, they've had to work really hard to get into games, but they've just coasted through both of these matches so far this evening. From what we've seen, they've got a quick lead, and from there they just haven't looked back.
I tell you what, behind the curtain, right, there's a couple of key numbers on YouTube when you're doing live streams and you flick into like round figures. So you get into like 2 hours, 3 hours. Once you go over round numbers, things change a little bit. It's quite good.
Right.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember when we did the Premier League. I think we clicked 3 hours. Yeah, we just clicked over. We made it over by about 50 seconds. I tell you what, we're not doing today, lads. As we're on 2 hours and 2 minutes, like we are not seeing the third hour of today's stream.
Not unless Mensa Sulovic has a Dutch grandmother and they want to do a comeback. Like that's the only way it's happening.
Gracious.
Yeah, break again. So, like, we just if you think there's nothing updating, folks, on the scores, they are having another break. There was a frustrated look by Michael van Gerwen as he came down the stairs on the way for the break. But I don't know whether there is just like, well, what can? Sorry, I'm really sorry. I just caught out of the corner of my eye while I was speaking there, in the replay of what had happened during the game. They'd clipped up Luke Littler sort of turning to point at the crowd and a raft of, I'll say, hand signals that were coming back in, a raft of sign language that was coming back at him. That was quite amusing. But no, he looked at, he was sort of he pulled a face a little bit of sort of frustration, Michael van Gerwen, but like, what can you do? They've slipped down to 105 and a bit. Like, that average has been hovering around like 108, 109, 110 for large parts of the game. It's the performance we've waited 2 years for, this one game, innit?
Yeah, this is what any English person watching darts has been like, right, this is what's going to happen when these two play, and it took a while, and I do think if these go on to win, as they should, we could see this a bit more of.
I'm curious if they'll say tonight, in a week, in a month, like what was different this year, assuming they go on to win it. Like what changed that made him finally come out of their shells and play. I mean, this is the way you see them play when they play singles. Like, why is it suddenly working this year? And it wasn't immediate this year either. Like, they were a few visits away from not being in this position based on how the start of the tournament went for them. So it is fascinating. It's just so like psychological playing doubles. And I think it's hard being like the heavy favorite. More so than when they play individually.
I would love to see the dynamic between how they talk, because obviously Humphreys is the senior player, I class him as the slightly calmer, more mature individual of the two. But trying to kind of keep the world number one in check as well must be quite a difficult thing. So I would love to see how they talk to each other between games and going into big sessions and what that relationship's like.
So just to clarify, for those who are not seeing what we're seeing elsewhere and you've got other screens on, TBC, we've no idea why it says to be confirmed at the top. That is the Netherlands. That is the Dutch team of Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen, and this is the final of the 2026 World Cup of Darts. We are using in the middle, so the graphics in the middle, it's from the direct from the PDC's website, the PDC live scores. I can only imagine that whoever in the back room in Frankfurt who was responsible for filling in the little box of who's playing who missed one out and didn't fill the Dutch names in. And that's why it looks like Humphries and Littler are playing TBC. But rest assured, that is the Dutch team of Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen as a troublous visit from the Dutch.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
This could get even uglier or even quicker.
I think we're done in 5 minutes here, boys.
Yeah, this is a real, it's a race to the finish line. Now, I think they both know how much can go wrong. Like, I think they both know how much can go. Every time they come back from a break, they come back, like, really, really up for it, it seems. I think they both know, like, come on, if we drop it here, the Dutch are playing well. And if we let them in, this could get really murky and messy. And if you lose a couple of breaks or something, like, Michael van Gerwen is starting to get a little bit visibly frustrated on the stage as well, like frustrated with his own visits, which we haven't seen earlier in the game. And I tell you what, as well, it's affecting Jan van Veen's throw. That pressure that we were saying he's played without, the freedom he's played with.
It's easy when you're leading. Life's all good and fun when you're leading. How do you play when you're losing?
It's easy when your partner's playing brilliant, but when they're not playing great either, and you end up having to, it's a race to the bottom now, and that average, there's a leg.
Good check out.
That's big. That's a match saver.
That average is gradually just dropping a little bit.
But you know what? Dutch get a break back now. It's 7-5, hold your throw, 7-6. The games can turn quick, but we're just seeing England. I know they've slowed down a little, but they are still just playing the better darts for me.
Yeah. They're not giving the Dutch enough opportunities to take legs back from them. Like, the Dutch are having to work really, really hard to hold their own throw. And that's the difficulty they've got. They can, at the minute, they're working so hard to hold their own throw. They can't make any impact at the minute on the England throw.
And Littler and Humphries are getting to about 120 and having 6 darts every time, aren't they?
Yeah, and well, this is every time they get to what we consider for either of those two a makeable finish, we sort of say, oh, yeah, they can have 6 darts from there. Like, here we go again, 106, but you can have at least 6 from there.
That's got to be wrong. Missed the board completely with the third dart. Fault might have been a rejection. We won't say the other word.
It could have been rejected. Yeah.
Rejection. Oh yeah, the way these are set up. Yeah, it was.
That's rare. This should. There you go.
It's more like it.
That is more like it. 5-5. The double 10 missed. But it just 2 away now for England. And like I say, that the Dutch, they are going to keep trying to hold, but it's just difficult to really think how they're going to make any inroads on against the darts, isn't it? They're really up against it.
Like every leg they start's competitive. The ones the English lads are starting just aren't really, are they?
I'm afraid not for the Dutch. No, I did it. I anticipated a much. That's sloppy though. That is sloppy, but again, it's on the Dutch throw, so it's like it doesn't really matter.
Really punished either, is it?
It's not changing the game, is it? It's not going to change the game.
Nah.
Yes, first of 10 for anybody wondering in the chat room. Best of 19, so the first to win 10 legs. So Team England just 2 legs away now. That's all it's going to take. Virtually impossible to see a way back, I think.
Although they might have a comfortable holder throw here if they can compose themselves. Yeah.
There you go. Set it up nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to throw my 10-4 out the window, so I shouldn't be cheering.
There's one back though.
A little bit of pressure on you.
Don't fluff.
There's one back. Anything you can do, etc. Nice, comfortable.
Very solid. This has they have to break here though, don't they?
Yeah, you gotta
Here's
get
a
it
question, right? Here's a question. If it was 8-5 the other way around and the stats were the other way around, how would you be feeling at this point about, England being able to peg it back?
If England were playing like the Dutch are playing and vice versa.
Yeah. If you literally spun it on the head, but the personalities were different, like a different. Oh, Christ!
No, I couldn't see it.
It's too close, isn't it, to the end?
Yeah, they're
think
just
so.
not. There's too many legs that England are winning drama free.
They're throwing it at them, giving them everything they got. Oh my!
Yeah, this is what we. This is what we wanted to see in it. We want to see constant exchanges of big scores. Both averages are steady.
Oh my goodness! 6 perfect.
They're on for a 10.
Woo! 10 dart break of throw would be impressive, wouldn't it?
I will shut up if they had a 10 dart break of throw.
Imagine cocking that up. Oh, wow.
I don't know what England's actually on because it surely can't be 95.
Some days you're the pigeon and some days you're the statue, aren't you? But wow. First to 10 in the chat room, just to double check. Best of 19 is first to 10. I know there's some folks.
I think they. I don't know.
I'm not
I have
convinced
no idea.
what we're seeing score-wise is correct at the minute.
Double 13. What in the world is going on?
He pulled it low.
Were they throwing at 4 and they hit a 13?
Yeah, sounds about right. This has been messy though, but this is
England's took it out on tops.
Yeah.
I think the score's got a little bit all over the place.
MVG bus first started. He wired it into the double 13.
Oh, do you know what? We just had our first comment, right? Our first comment on Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm going to stick it on the screen.
We're
We're on Twitch. Who knew we're on Twitch? We're on Kick as well. We're on Kick and Twitch. We're everywhere. And we're all over. It's first to 10. It's first to 10 Twitchers.
Twitches.
I don't know. I assume that's what it is. I don't know. I assume if you're on Twitch, you're a Twitcher. We called them something else when I was at school, but I don't know. And we've got people on Kick as well. Look at that.
Yes, we're worldwide.
We are right across. We are absolutely right across. 41 for the match. Not a lot of pressure on that 106. So, Team England, will you fulfill? There you go. 10-5. And probably the most predictable outcome that anyone could have said at the beginning of a World Cup. But, Team England, Luke Littler and Luke Humphreys are the 2026 World Cup of Darts champions. And it was pretty easy in the end after a difficult day and a difficult game yesterday. That was probably the least pressure they've been under all the way through the tournament, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've cakewalked that, haven't they? That's what we've expected from them to do since that team was announced.
Yeah, the first two knockout matches were their biggest struggles. This session was pretty bad, pretty boring.
How long till Humphreys reminds them that you might be able to break a lot of my records, Luke, but as long as I'm England's number 2, you'll never have more World Cups.
Yeah. I'll always have you on that one.
You'll have them. But I feel like this could be. I love the World. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of the World Cup. Really big World Cup fan. But this could be the sort of way things go for the next 4 or 5 years, couldn't it? You know, if these two are really establish themselves at the top of the game. I can't hear the crowd reaction. If anyone's got sound on, I'd be interested to know what the crowd reaction is like.
It's pretty positive. They're not really booing or anything. I think he gets to a point, they win the night, just give them their dues. But yeah, I think the biggest thing will be if they want to keep doing it. I think Humphreys will. I don't know if maybe Littler is like, all right, I got mine, I'm good, because it's non-ranking. But I don't know, like it seems like they're all having a ton of fun, let alone just determined to win it. Like I think it's just going to become a tournament that has a lot more pedigree as the years go on, and it becomes more passionate and that kind of thing. Like we'll see. This was a really fun weekend, and a lot of teams took it really, I think, a lot more serious than people thought, especially with their reactions and their how hard they played and the emotion. It's fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, folks, we're going to break a record in the earliest finish to a televised watch along ever, not before 8:30, which is, actually, you know what, they look seriously over the moon, them two as well. Like I don't care what people say, that meant something to both of them.
Yeah.
Like that legitimately.
I think after last year in particular as well.
That's
and
one of
all
their
the
favorites.
pelters, like I think that
This is Humphrey's first TV trophy in a while.
Yeah, it is actually.
All he had to do was not play Luke Littler.
Yeah, exactly.
He just his team. If you can't beat him, join him.
Play within your own side. Right, we will leave it, folks, as Swiss Phil starts presenting the winners' trophies. But we're not going to talk you through that because it's the handing of the check, and it's Luke Littler and Luke Humphreys lifting a trophy up on a stage, which you haven't, if you don't know what that looks like, just like there are an awful lot of photos available on the internet. You can go and have a little look of that. But thank you as ever for coming along and joining us for something a little bit different. Like, we're going to keep these going. We'll be doing a bit of a mix, and next time, obviously, we'll be here live for Pro Tours and Euro Tours as well. But next big televised one will be the match play. So we're going to mix that up. So we're going to do a mixture of fallout bars as usual, sort of end of the day, but then we might do some watch alongs as well for when we've got the women's match play. We might do as a watch along, and we might do a watch along. We even discussed maybe semis and final, so we might do a little bit more for the match play. It's the second biggest in my book, the biggest in our house, because I get to go have some fun. Thank you, Dave and Dan, from across the pond and across the Pennines. It's been good fun as ever to have you both along for the watch along. It's been cracking. Thank you, everyone in the chat room, for making it a bit of fun and banter and getting in with your opinions. Thanks especially to those commenting from all of the different streaming platforms that we're on at once today. We're not
kickers and twitchers.
All the kickers
and twitchers.
Kickers, Twitchers, and Tubers, wherever you are watching us from, whatever platform you are, thank you very much. We're back tomorrow night. Phil and I are here with the live lounge, so we're back 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow for the live lounge. So we'll hopefully see you all then. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Good night, folks. Take care.